Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 6.
Put a gun to her head and they'd say, if you all try to get loose or do anything, we're going to kill you.
Quite a story tonight from a Kentucky couple. They thought they were helping a man down on his luck. Instead, they were roughed up, tied up, and robbed.
A fire at an air traffic control center near Chicago cancels hundreds of flights across the country, including several from Lexington's Bluegrass Airport.
They are trying to fill Commonwealth Stadium tomorrow for the UK versus Vandy game. It would be the first since 2010.
And get ready, Lexington, a double dose of one of country music's biggest stars on back-to-back nights at Rupp Arena. WKYT News at 6 starts now. Good evening. A knock at the door turned into a terrifying situation today for an elderly couple in eastern Kentucky.
State police say two men overpowered the couple, tied them up, and robbed them. It happened in the Middle Creek community of Floyd County near the Magoffin County line. WKYT's Garrett Weimer is at the live desk with our top story at 6.
It was before 5 o'clock this morning. Orville and Hazel Adams say they were in bed when their doorbell rang. Outside, they found a man on the porch asking to use their phone, but it was what happened right after that that began this couple's nightmare.
And they kept threatening to kill us. They'd put a gun to her head and they'd say, if you all try to get loose or do anything, we're going to kill you.
Hazel and Orville Adams say they've lived here for 50 years, so when their doorbell rang, they just thought it was someone who had run out of gas.
He slipped a thing up over his nose, you know, to hide his face here. He just slipped that up and threw the gun in her face, a pistol, first thing he did.
That's when police say that man and another tied up the couple in the middle of their kitchen and started going through all their things.
They said, we've hit the jackpot of stuff in here this morning, they said.
And one time, he stuck the pistol right in my mouth. I think that's when he was trying to make me open the safe, wasn't it?
It might have been.
After they left, Hazel says she got loose by pure force of will.
And I just took my hands and got a hold of that tape and I just put it real hard and I just took it over my head and I came in here and I dialed 911.
Now hoping police find the men who did this.
We got in trouble by trying to help these two people. They need to prosecute them to the fullest if they can get done to them.
Troopers ask if anyone was in Middle Creek between 4 and 5 o'clock this morning to give them a call. You'll find their phone number on WKYT.com. At the live desk, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
And Kentucky State Police say if you don't know someone who's at your door, don't open it. They say keep the door locked and call police.
The next step in the investigation into the shooting death of a Winchester robbery suspect is on hold. The Fayette County coroner says he's waiting for UK hospital to release Devon Marshall's body before he can take it to the state medical examiner for an autopsy. Winchester police say that Marshall pulled a gun on a worker at the 96 truck stop Tuesday morning during a robbery attempt. The store owner shot Marshall. He died last night from his injuries. A second suspect in the robbery, Curtis Wilkerson, entered a not guilty plea in court yesterday. The shoplifting case against former UK basketball star Rex Chapman is moving forward. The Maricopa County Attorney's Office in Arizona told us this afternoon they're now reviewing Chapman's case. Scottsdale police arrested Chapman last week. He's accused of stealing more than $14,000 in merchandise from an Apple store on 9 different occasions. Chapman is out of jail on bond. He's facing 14 felony counts. Official charges from the county attorney's office are expected to be filed after they complete their investigation.
A court date has now been set for a Richmond man accused of threatening U.S. Congressman Andy Barr. 40-year-old Russell Little will be arraigned in federal court in Lexington Monday morning. The FBI says Little repeatedly called threats into Barr's office during a 5-month period. State police arrested Little on August 4th after he led them on a chase on I-75 from Laurel County to Rockcastle County. Police say he had a loaded gun in his car and had called in a threat to Barr's office that morning. A close call for a man in a motorized wheelchair. He was hit by a car in Georgetown. It happened this morning on West Main Street at Kentucky Avenue. Police told the News Graphic the driver of the car was blinded by the sun. The man in the wheelchair was taken to UK hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The driver will not face charges. A Lexington police officer got into a fight today while trying to make an arrest. It happened just after 11 this morning on True Alley, just down from East Loudon Avenue. A police spokesperson tells us an officer was trying to arrest a man in a stolen car when he resisted. Police arrested 39-year-old Ricky Turner for resisting arrest, theft, and drug charges. The officer was not injured. If you were supposed to fly to Chicago today out of Lexington, you were out of luck.
All flights to the Windy City were canceled because of a fire at an air traffic control facility outside of Chicago. That fire grounded all the flights at Chicago's 2 airports for most of the day and caused disruption to air travel across the U.S. Nearly 1,000 flights were canceled. Authorities say a contract employee for the FAA intentionally set that fire. Flights have finally resumed, but the impact is still being felt. Victor Puente talked to a passenger delayed at Bluegrass Airport.
2 flights within the next hour have been canceled here at Bluegrass Airport. That makes 5 flights that didn't depart from Lexington today because of that fire in Chicago. The cancellations began this morning as flights into and out of O'Hare International and Midway airports were affected. Across the country, around 850 flights were impacted. 2 flights from Bluegrass Airport that were scheduled to leave at 6:40 and 6:58 p.m. are the last of the day to be canceled. 2 more flights coming in from Chicago later this evening appear to still be on time. We spoke to a traveler who was trying to get to Hong Kong. She was supposed to make it to Chicago this morning, but these delays have put her way behind schedule.
At the beginning, they gave me a 6 o'clock flight or something, but then I have to stay in the Chicago airport overnight.
Airport officials tell me it could be another day or 2 before they know the full impact of these cancellations. They say they still don't know if any flights tomorrow will be canceled. In Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
We understand the next flight from Chicago to Lexington is scheduled to arrive tonight at 9:10.
Tonight, crews tell us they have temporarily fixed 2 water main breaks that tied up traffic in Lexington for hours today. Kentucky American Water crews worked all day to repair the damage after a leaking gasket on a valve caused the breaks late last night on Nicholasville Road and Rosemont Garden. Homeowners near Elam Park say 6 feet of water flooded their basement, causing thousands of dollars in damage.
There's a lot of panic because, I mean, even though it wasn't really high at that point, you know something's wrong and you got to get out, and the lights were flickering.
Crews tell us the water main break could have been caused by vibrations from nearby trains.
A new report shows the number of child abuse cases in Kentucky is up. Just this week, the Cabinet for Health and Family Services released the data showing in 2013 there were just over 11,000 cases. This year, more than 12,000 cases have been reported. As for the 17 counties that the Children's Advocacy Center in Lexington covers, its numbers are up by 40% in the last 3 years.
I think one of the reasons the numbers have gone up is because people are becoming so much more aware of the warning signs of child abuse. People are reporting it more. I think it's something people aren't scared to talk about any longer.
And it is against the law in Kentucky to not report cases of child abuse.
You may want to take the sunscreen if you're headed to the UK game tomorrow. Expect a repeat from today. Plenty of sun and warm temperatures. WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has an early look at the forecast. Chris?
Yeah, we're wrapping up our Friday, rolling into that Saturday and Sunday, and it is, as you mentioned, Jennifer, pretty much more of the same old for Saturday. I think a lot of folks out there will likely settle for that. A little look at our sky cams from across central and eastern Kentucky with a partly sunny sky. Temperatures on the cool side in Jackson, 75, at least cool compared to a couple of low 80s that are showing up elsewhere throughout the region. And high school football fans, again, this evening your forecast looks absolutely spectacular. 70s for kickoff, a few upper 60s to around 70 by the time the second half begins. Cloud cover lifting in from southwest to north. Those clouds are not producing any precipitation, though by the latter part of the weekend, we do have at least the chance for a little bit of precipitation rolling in. That may be in the form of a couple of showers with the cloud cover that you're seeing now throughout central and eastern Kentucky. Those clouds that are out there now will not produce any precipitation. Defender continues with that clean sweep. But we will notice a few of those clouds that continue into the day tomorrow. So that may try to keep those temperatures from getting just downright toasty into tomorrow afternoon. Guys, I'll come back here in just a little bit and we'll walk you through the entire weekend with the hour-by-hour forecast. That's a heck of a breakdown for the next 48 hours.
Thank you, Chris. And it's going to be a beautiful day for fans headed to the UK game tomorrow as UK tries to pack the house at Commonwealth Stadium.
The Wildcats want to build on the program's positive energy after a near win at Florida took them to overtime. As WKYT's Jarek Insko reports, ticket sales are up as UK cut prices on some seats, hoping to get the first sellout at Commonwealth Stadium in years.
Game day is Saturday for UK and Vandy at Commonwealth Stadium.
Coach Stoops and the players can feel it. They've been very, very energetic in practice last couple of weeks.
And the tickets, are going fast.
I think it'll be a really good crowd. We're hoping to get stadium near sold out.
You can thank the UK-Florida game for all the hype, putting this football program back on the map and fans in those stands.
Folks can see the progress that the team is making, and we've been able to sell several thousand tickets since that game.
To ensure full capacity here at the stadium for this game, UK Athletics sold some cheap tickets.
Some remaining student tickets available for the $20 general admission. And all those have been sold.
But those hot item $20 tickets are still available for season ticket holders to buy for friends and family.
If you want a seat at tomorrow's game, there are $50 reserve seats available, and you can buy those here at Commonwealth Stadium starting at 9 a.m. on game day at the ticket office or online through that same ticket office.
Currently, Commonwealth Stadium has 62,000 seats for fans, and right now more than 50,000 of those seats are full.
We haven't sold out in a while, but we're sure we're going to have the biggest crowd of the season so far tomorrow.
A sold-out house would be the first since 2010, which would be a win for UK.
Can I just get one student ticket for tomorrow? Okay.
Despite a win or loss at Saturday's game. In Lexington, Jerica Insko, WKYT.
Now, if you don't have a ticket for tomorrow's game, you can get on WKYT.com, where we have a link for online ticket purchases.
If you plan to drive I-75 this weekend, stay alert. Ahead on WKYT News at 6, why you'll notice an increase in police patrols.
And 2 concerts just were not enough. Garth Brooks doubling down on his trip to Lexington, announcing 2 more shows at Rupp.
Follow WKYT online at WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
State police taking control of the interstates this weekend, and it's all to reduce crashes.
It's called the Interstate 75 Challenge. State police in 5 states will take part in the traffic enforcement blitz. Police say they're focusing on speeders, impaired drivers, and people not wearing seatbelts. The challenge will run from Michigan through Florida, more than 1,700 miles. He's got friends in low places and so many fans in Lexington, he had to add extra shows. Garth Brooks is coming to town to perform at Rupp Arena, and today he added 2 extra shows. He's set to play twice on Friday, October 31st, and 2 concerts again on Saturday, November 1st. At last check, both Saturday shows were already sold out, but tickets are available on Ticketmaster for about $70 for both Friday shows.
This Sunday, the Montessori Middle School of Kentucky hosting a brunch using ingredients prepared by 7th and 8th grade students. The students have not only provided some of the farm-to-table ingredients, but they're preparing pumpkin rolls to be served for dessert. 7th grader Zach Brown is the produce manager for the cooking class. His job is to plant, tend, and harvest the produce being used for the brunch this weekend.
All of Lexington gets to come and participate in it, and I think it's pretty cool that I can say, hey, I harvested that, and it's in that food that you're eating. I cooked it, you're eating it. So I think it's pretty cool that I'm able to say that. Not many people are able to say that.
Zach, we agree, you are pretty cool. For more information on reservations, just go to WKYT.com.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey and First Alert Defender.
All right, we've made it to the weekend. We've been working all week for this very day. Finally into our Friday evening, and Mother Nature continues to smile upon central and eastern Kentucky. A lot of gorgeous conditions out there. Daily breakdown as we roll our way into your weekend that is starting out on a very warm note across most of central and eastern Kentucky. Those shower chances beginning to arrive as we get deeper into the weekend. that will lead to additional changes as we go toward the first few days of October. How about that skyline on our live sky cam? Hamburg Pavilion in the distance, a little bit of hazy sunshine over top of us. Those are those cirrus clouds, and getting a few Twitter pictures now of a couple of sundogs. Almost look like little rainbows showing up in the clouds. You get that with a lot of ice crystal cloud cover from time to time, especially shortly before sunset. Live First Alert Defender, nothing going on across central and eastern Kentucky. Kentucky's most powerful live Doppler radar has been quiet for the past week and change. It's likely to remain quiet not only this evening, but on into the day on Saturday. What we're focusing on, though, is a little increase in moisture coming out of parts of the volunteer state of Tennessee. So we're seeing the cloud cover that is creeping northward from Nashville and Knoxville. No precipitation, though, showing up as of yet. How about the 24-hour planner? Can we find anything coming from the skies? Doesn't look to be the case. A mix of sun and clouds again tomorrow afternoon. We'll start things out with a little touch of some fog, and those temperatures tomorrow morning a little milder than where we've been in recent mornings. So instead of upper 40s, we're going to be talking about upper 50s. And tomorrow afternoon, Commonwealth Stadium, sunscreen is going to be a must with temperatures upper 70s to low 80s. Now, it's not going to be full sun. We'll have some of the thin cloud cover that we have out there today showing up again on tomorrow afternoon skyline. Weekend breakdown, though, late day shower is a possibility on Sunday. A possibility, not a likelihood. So if we have some outdoor plans on a Sunday, let's face it, it's the last Sunday in September. Of course we have some outdoor plans. Go about your business. Just keep an eye on that southern skyline, especially second half of the day for a little spotty shower chance here or there. Now from Sunday night into Monday, greatest potential for some showers will be across far southern and southeastern Kentucky. The farther north you get into bluegrass country, northeastern Kentucky, and even farther north toward the Ohio River, boy, those chances really will begin to come down a little bit. But the potential is there for a shower or two at some point as we go into the second half of Sunday and certainly into Sunday night and Monday. Let's show you how we get there. Hour by hour forecast. Through the day tomorrow, sun, some clouds doing battle. The one constant, the warm temperatures. Now tomorrow night, a little more in the way of some clouds will begin to creep on in, as it's an area of low pressure that we're keeping an eye on that is down across parts of the deep south. Models are not doing a very good job in handling the rain supply with this system. We'll see how far north that can get in the coming days, but a shower chance by the end of our Sunday is a pretty good bet across southern and eastern Kentucky. 57 degrees overnight, a little patchy fog out there. That's a pretty good evening, and an even better Saturday. Warm, 81 degrees for that high temperature with some of those high clouds that will be back with us not only for Saturday, into Sunday. Clouds will thicken up a little bit second half of Sunday into Monday with a chance for a shower. This is not a washout by any means. Middle of next week, we have another shot at hitting 80 degrees during that time. That's ahead of a strong cold front that shows up. You know, life's all about timing. The timing on this cold front shows up for the first day of the fall meet out at Keeneland on Friday. Now, that's 7 days away, so we'll fine-tune that as we get closer, but next weekend likely will feature some big changes toward chillier weather. It's October, so
yeah,
it should,
so you
right?
expect.
Exactly.
All right, thanks, Chris.
You bet.
Well, Rob is next, and the Cats have had an extra week to get ready for Vandy.
They have. Coming off a bye week, Mark Stoops and his team will see a different offensive scheme tomorrow. And it's Henry Clay and Lafayette tonight. What does Coach Sam Simpson think of the Generals? Sports is next. Kentucky comes home tomorrow, and the Cats are hopeful of playing in front of a big crowd and getting a win in the SEC. With Vanderbilt, Kentucky will face a scheme it has not seen this season, as the Commodores will feature multiple tight ends. But Mark Stoops says you see new things every week.
The routine stays the same, really, because each week you go in and you lock yourself in that office and you figure out how you want to defend people and you know, what you're going to feature and how we're going to make adjustments. So it is a little bit different. We haven't seen it too much, but it doesn't change the routine.
Kentucky and Vandy kick off at noon Saturday in Commonwealth Stadium. It'll be on the SEC Network. Our high school football game of the week is a game time top 10 matchup, Henry Clay and Lafayette. And it should be a dandy. Henry Clay coach Sam Simpson's top priority, finding a way to stop Lafayette quarterback Walker Wood. The Generals' sophomore signal caller gets extremely high praise from Simpson and quite a comparison.
I don't know how much my kids like it, but I've coined the phrase, he's the Johnny Manziel of high school football. You know, he's a talented kid. He's got good feet. He's a risk taker. He's a riverboat gambler. He's cocky, he's aggressive, but he's a really fine football player. I have a lot of respect for him. And he makes plays.
Here's a quick look at our game time top 10 where they'll be playing tonight. Scott County hosts Clark County. Pulaski County is at Lincoln County. Madison Southern is at home against South Laurel. Boyle County takes on Dudley Hilton's Taylor County Cardinals. Our game of the week tonight, Lafayette and Henry Clay. Bryan Station takes on Tates Creek. Franklin County hosts West Jessamine. Across town, it's Frankfort and LCA. And number 10, Bourbon County plays Western Hills. The 40th Ryder Cup getting underway early this morning at Glen Eagles in Scotland. 4-ball play today in the morning matches. Sergio Garcia from the bunker at number 4, and he holes out, giving he and Rory McIlroy a 1-up lead over Keegan Bradley and Phil Mickelson. At 10, Jordan Spieth rolling in the birdie putt. He and Patrick Reed win their match 5-4. In the afternoon matches, Jamie Donaldson and Lee Westwood pick up a point at 18. Jim Furyk and Matt Kuchar concede. Europe and the U.S. all square at 2.5. The Europeans just kept winning, though. They grab another point when Justin Rose wins the match for he and Henrik Stenson over Hunter Mahan and Zach Johnson. After day one, the heavily favored Europeans grab a 5-3 lead. The foursomes play alternate shot tomorrow. Stay with us now as we wrap it up on WKYT.
Well, the sundog is blowing up social media right now.
It really is. My Twitter feed is absolutely exploding, and here's why. There you see the sun, and you also, if you look on either side of the sun, you're going to see what looks like a little bit of a rainbow or a halo. Those are sundogs reflecting through those ice crystal clouds that we see out there right now. It's a pretty cool view.
It's amazing the things you come up with.
You never know what you'll get.
All right, see you tonight at 11.